necklace might fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third.
Gervonta Tank Davis comes out and gives fans an update as to what's going on with his fight with Lamont Roach Jr. It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. I could just do this all day, the two-time Demontage champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
Check it out, man. Still a little under the weather. Feeling a little better. Gervonta Tank Davis. His fight with Lamont Roach is going down. After reports from insiders and, guys like Dan Rayfield, Rick Glacier, guys said it was a venue issue initially, right? It was a venue issue. Then we come to find out that Tank Davis wanted more money to fight Lamont Roach, that his handlers, PBC or et cetera, I'm not sure who it was, right? But they wasn't really willing to pay that outstanding purse for him to face Lamont Roach Jr. But Tank Davis comes out and pretty much tells everybody it's all cap and that is on and that he's still fighting in Houston. I still find it strange that he's fighting a guy from the DMV area, which he is also from the DMV area. Why in the hell is he fighting Houston? I don't know. I think Houston's one of the, I think it's starting to become or has become one of the premier cities in the United States. But whatever the case, he's fighting in Houston, and he's not fighting on the East Coast, where I think that fight will definitely pack the house. Nonetheless, Lamont Roach has an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm not mad at Lamont Roach for getting this opportunity. I just hope he makes the best of it.
Boxer, but everybody be talking shit to Gervonta, it don't be coming out good for them, my nigga. I'm just keeping it real.
He obviously is a superstar, but just because it's who he is, this don't change no program that I got going on. I'm here to win. I've been coming to win. And I think the same result going to happen on December the 14th.
And Lamont Roach acknowledges Tank Davis' star power, but he said he's coming to win this fight, right? So that's all we could ask for when we get these super A-sided superstar fighters fighting these guys that we may not, feel that he has too much of a chance, right? I hope Lamont Roach makes the best of it, and I actually hope Lamont Roach puts up one of the best performances from any Tank Davis opponent that we've seen to date, honestly. That's just what I want. But Tank Davis, man, he spends a lot of time on social media arguing with boxing fans, right? And all fans want from Tank. Nobody says, you will never see anybody say Tank Davis can't fight. He can't this, he can't that. Everybody acknowledges this dude is extremely talented, gifted, explosive, power, speed, skills. Tank Davis checking a lot of the boxes when we're looking at a fighter. However, when it comes to, like I said many times before, taking the sport by the horns, he don't want to grab him. Maybe they too sharp for him. Maybe they too hot for him. Whatever the case, he don't want to do it.
Correct you a little bit. He wanted the Lomachenko fight when Lomachenko was old. He didn't want the Lomachenko fight when Lomachenko was in his prime. Remember, Lomachenko was older than him. Remember, there was also Tevin Farmer in Gervonta Davis's weight at 130 pounds. He didn't go for that one either. Let's stick to the standard here. Lomachenko got tired of being used as an opponent. You know what I mean? Because he was constantly fighting the best fighters possible. Now that he's older, he got jobbed against Haney, and he's going to say, I'm going to go back and become an opponent. That's not what I'm going to do. That's not what I worked hard for. So he's going to probably choose to exit the sport. You know what? He deserves it. He always chose to fight the best. He actually set the standard. If Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson were like Lomachenko, this fight would happen. I think Shakur Stevenson genuinely wants to fight the best fighters. I think it's Gervonta Davis that doesn't want to fight him. I think, yes, I understand it has to make business sense, but ultimately, why is it that Eastern fighters always make the fights and Western fighters somehow always find an excuse? This guy doesn't sell well, this guy's not popular, this guy's not this. Why do Eastern fighters always... No way fights the best fighters possible. All the former Soviet republics have fighters that fight the best fighters possible. Then you get to the West and you start seeing all the excuses. This guy doesn't do this guy doesn't do this. What's the problem? I don't understand. Because you get the most bang for your buck and you get the most entertainment. The history of boxing proves it, because back in the old days, even the Western fighters used to fight one another. You get the best fights possible, and boxing thrives. That's why people look to the old days, because boxing thrives. And back then, you didn't even have Eastern fighters. The Western fighters were the guys that were actually looking for the best opponents possible and being the best they could be. That's why people long for those days. That's why we're trying to bring them back here.
And after hearing what guys like Paulie had to say, right? And look, I don't always agree with Paulie. right? But when you're right, you're right. Eastern European fighters, honestly, always looking for the smoke. But quite frankly, they don't really got too much of a choice either, right? They just don't got too much of a choice because over here in the West, this is the hotbed for boxing. Over here in the United States of America, this is the hotbed for boxing. So a lot of guys from across the world seek to come to America to make their mark in the sport of boxing. That's just kind of how it goes. Unless you're a guy like Naoya Inoue, who kind of has the whole country behind him and he could bring people over there and pay everybody a substantial amount of money, et cetera, et cetera. But other than that, there's not too many guys outside of the UK. If we talking about UK, that's different. But Eastern Europe, not so much, right? So I see what Paulie means. Like, those guys always looking for the smoke. Those guys always looking to fight the best fighters. I mean, look at Kieran Kukachan. He's one of the few guys that's willing to face Ron Bruce Ennis, not once, but twice. So, yeah, he do got a point there. And I do look at some of our Western guys with the side eye since Paulie brought that up. There's always some type of excuse. Oh, well, he don't sell. Oh, well, he ain't got no fans. Oh, well, he ain't beat nobody. It's always something, right? And then when you get guys like Turk Al-Sheikh that comes into the sport of boxing, it really lets you know who got really balls in the sport of boxing and who really out here hiding behind their promoters and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? But whatever the case, Gervonta Tank Davis trying to face Lomachenko now. He should have fought Loma years ago. He should have fought Tevin Farmer years ago. There was so many guys that Tank could have beat that I felt that he could have beat, but he didn't want to fight him for whatever reason. Now, could he have beaten a prime, younger Lomachenko? I'm not quite sure. Lomachenko had a very unique style, very unique approach, and a vast amount of experience. It probably would have been a tricky fight for Tank. Not to mention, Lomachenko got a good chin on him and everything else. I don't know, right? But Lomachenko at 36 years old, he's like, look, man, I'm not trying to be no opponent for these guys. I've been fighting all the best fighters I could fight, and now y'all trying to have me as an opponent, as a policeman, as a journeyman, as a gatekeeper. It's not happening. So Tank Davis missed the Lomachenko train. It could have been him first to beat Lomachenko instead of Devin the Dream Haney doing it. But whatever the case, Gervonta Tank Davis is now closer to 30 than he is to 20, right? So it's like, come on, Tank, what you gonna do after Lamont? What are we doing after Lamont? Right? Let's say you get past Lamont, and I don't want to disrespect Lamont Roach, man. This is a great opportunity for him, right? I just don't want to really disrespect him in anything like that. I really hope the best for him in that fight. It's a tough fight, but let's just say hypothetically you get past Lamont Roach, and then what you gonna do, bro? Who you gonna pull up from 130 after Lamont Roach? O'Shaquie Foster? Robinson Gonzalez? Somebody like? Come on, bro. What are we doing here? You got Edwin De Los Santos, right? You got Danger, Murataya, right? We got Keyshawn Davis. We got Abdullah Mason. We got Shakur Stevenson. We got a plethora of guys he could face at 135. Some guys that he could possibly even go up to 140 if they're not a super big junior welterweight, right? He could go up there and face a guy at 140, do a few fights there. Right? Tank Davis could do a lot of things in the sport of boxing. Tank Davis could face literally anybody he wants in the sport of boxing. However, he's not gonna do it. Gervonta Tank Davis comes out and tells everybody that his fight with Lamont Roach is on. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.